Welcome to the Hades 32 Heat series, where we're clearing Hades at 30 heat with every weapon, every aspect, and a few fun challenge runs. And today I would like to re-attempt a run that I recorded earlier, that I didn't quite get everything I wanted for. I'm going to be doing that with a few different aspects and weapons here. Today we're going to be doing a Chiron Bow run. Now we already did this once in the series, but I would like to see if we can get everything for it. Last time I think we only got 2, maybe 3 of the duos, but there's 4 that you can go for, and it's actually fairly easy to get them. There's only, let me think here, 4 prerequisite boons that you need, and then everything else is duos. So for this, what we're going to want to do is we're going to start with Dionysus, and we are going to focus on Hangover with our special. Just want to make sure we have everything we need for the Mirror of Night. Yeah, I don't think there's anything we need to change here. Biggest thing you want to make sure you have is privileged status for sure, and God's Legacy helps out a lot for getting the duos that you need. Now, I'm hoping we can find at least 2 of the Olympians that we need for this run. This is actually a fairly fast run, so we could do tight deadline up, but I'm just going to go with damage control instead. Chiron Bow works especially well with damage control. Basically how it works, after you hit an enemy with your attack, all the arrows from your special will then home in on that enemy, and as you improve with Titan Blood, you can get up to 8 shots per special, which works remarkably well with a certain duo boon that we're going to be going for. Alright, so we're going to start with Dionysus. We are going to get Drunken Flourish. The rarity doesn't really matter that much with this. It's really only a 2-point damage difference from 5 to 7 between common rarity and epic rarity. So 5 is good, it's alright. And the Nectar here should give us a free upgrade. Okay, I'm getting a little bit of loading, poor loading times, but that's okay. I'm hoping we'll find at least 2 of the Olympians that we need. If we can get 3 within Tartarus, that would be great. We're going to need to be a little bit lucky for that to happen, but, well, that's just kind of how it goes with this build. Okay, we'll take the hammer for sure. Relentless Volley kind of just helps to make sure that all our arrows actually land, and we get as many stacks of Hangover as possible, even if one of our arrows gets intercepted, but there's actually a specific hammer that we do want to go for instead, if we can get it. Okay, I was hoping we could get Piercing Volley. That would have made it easier to apply Hangover to groups of enemies, and just rip down armor, but Relentless Volley is good too. Let's take the Palm, absolutely. Just get our Hangover damage as high as possible. There's a couple different ways you can actually do this build. You can do a Hangover build, you can do a crit build, and they're actually roughly the same. It's just that the crit build makes use of Artemis Aid, whereas the Hangover build, obviously, just makes use of Drunken Flourish. The Hangover build is easier because the Artemis Aid actually is not a prerequisite for, I think it's Heartrend, which is one of the boons you want to go for. We actually, oh, perfect. We don't need Chaos, but Artemis will definitely help. And with Artemis, True Shot, perfect. That is a prerequisite for both Splitting Headache as well as Heartrend. And you know what, let's keep going with the Palms for now. This is a fairly safe build. You're able to keep your distance fairly easily with this build, so I'm not too worried about getting Centaur Hearts. Eventually we're going to need to get some, but we'll probably be forced to take some eventually. So let's take the Palms while they're offered. This build basically hinges on Hangover damage, so the more we can get, the better. Drunken Flourish, there we go. Oh, perfect. Aphrodite right away. Excellent. Okay, so that's 3 of the 4 Olympians that we need, and we haven't even left Tartarus, and we didn't even need to force any of them. That's excellent. This is going to be a good run. Now, you don't need to keep reapplying Hangover. You can kind of switch your targets with this, but that's okay. Heartbreak Strike, perfect. So with this, what we will get is, with our weak on our attack inflicts weak, and then our special locks on to the last hit enemy hit with our attack. Our special inflicts hangover. That's 2 status ailments, and that'll give us privileged status, which gives us a 40% increase on all our damage to that target. In addition, Heartbreak Strike now opens up the prerequisites for both low tolerance and heartrend. So we now have 3 of the 4 prerequisites we need, and we've barely begun. So the next thing I think we're going to want to do, I'm actually going to call down Sisyphus just in case. I don't think we're going to run into a shop just yet, but if we do, I want to make sure we've got enough obol to afford any boons that get offered, because at this point we are... The only thing that we're missing now is 1 Olympian and our duos. Zeus, definitely not. Let's check the shop. Artemis. Yep, let's take it. Splitting Headache. Lovely. Lovely. Okay, so hangover-afflicted foes are more likely to take critical damage, 1.5% per hangover stack. Now, once we get low tolerance, that will actually synergize nicely. For now, 1.5% times 5 hangover stacks is a 7.5% crit chance. That is from all sources. Now, that includes our attack, that includes our special, but that also includes our hangover damage over time. Our hangover can actually get a critical hit and deal 3 times damage. So, Splitting Headache is going to work exceptionally well for increasing our hangover damage. And then, yeah, once we get low tolerance, that's just going to make this even better. And now the idea here is we're going to kind of want to alternate between different targets, apply hangover, and then just switch to a different enemy. Centaur Heart, lovely. Now, I'm wondering if we should maybe call down Sisyphus again to get enough obol to afford whatever boons in the region and shop, but I don't think we're going to get enough anyway, unless we get another obol drop from a room reward. It's not gonna... Oh, come on. There we go. Check the shop here. Nothing we really need there. Okay. Yeah, we'll take the Fated Authorities. I don't think we'll actually need them at this point, but always... Fated Authorities are always more valuable than obol. There's lots of sources for getting obol. There's only one way to get more Fated Authorities. Come on. There we go. Got it. And, okay, we don't need Poseidon. We can't afford a boon from the shop, but we'll just take the shop anyway because we do not want to get Poseidon. Yeah, Dionysus would have been nice, but can't afford it. That's fine. We already have an amazing start. We've got 3 of our 4 prerequisites and 1 of our 4 duo boons, and we just cleared our first region. That's excellent. So now... Since we have all the prerequisites we need, basically, -1, I think we're just going to force the last of Olympian and Asphodel here. Now, the last one that we need is actually relatively unimportant compared to the rest, but for a hangover build especially, it definitely helps. If you're going to do a crit build with this instead, you don't need the 4th Olympian and you don't need the 4th duo boon. But you do need Artemis Aid instead, so the crit build is actually arguably easier to pull off in that sense. But what's nice about this is once we get our 4th Olympian, any Olympian we take is going to potentially give us a duo boon that we need. Don't need to purge anything. We don't need Chaos Gates, so we're not going to worry about any of this. Instead, we are going to take the Blood-Filled Vial, and we're going to force Ares. And that will be our last Olympian. Perfect. More hangover damage is always good. Now, it's actually kind of a good thing that we're getting Ares last, because the boon that we need from him is a tertiary boon. It is not a primary boon. It is not a main. So the fact that we already have 3 mains offered, or on our boon list, means that we're more likely to be offered that tertiary boon. Take Drunken Flourish. There we go. Hermes actually... maybe. You know what, we'll take him. You know what? Swift Flourish actually does help, because then you can get 4 volleys in between lock-ons. But if you're alternating targets, it's not super useful. And since you really only need to apply Hangover stacks once, you don't really need the 4th volley. But there's no reason not to. The special arrows actually do deal damage. Not an amazing amount, but they do deal damage. Okay, nothing really here. We'll take Side Hustle, just it's gonna help close the gap on convenience fee a tiny little bit, and Quick Recovery we don't really need, Auto Reload we don't need. Anyone else? Want to make sure that we don't have somebody hiding in the corner. Oh, I love privilege status with this build. It just synergizes so good. This is probably the build with the highest synergy in the game, as far as I'm concerned. You only need 4 Olympians, you don't need to have any extras. And Curse of Vengeance, perfect. That is our last prerequisite, and now all we need is duo boons. And we can get all of them. Okay, we cannot afford a boon in the shop. Let me actually just take a quick peek around. I know we're a little bit... We are on a tight deadline, but if there's an urn kicking around here, there's not. Okay. Let's try our luck. Let's check the shop, see if there's an urn just kicking around. If there is, or if it's a... Oh, right, we have... I forgot we had Side Hustle. That closes the gap right there. Okay, so let's buy this boon here. Low tolerance, perfect. So our hangover effects can now stack more times against weak foes. So now we can get up to 8 stacks. All 8 of those stacks will now increase our critical hit damage against that enemy for a total of, I think, 12% crit chance now, so that's good. Now, we have both Splitting Headache and Low Tolerance. The only other duo boon we can get from Dionysus now is Curse of Nausea. Let me think here. Curse of Nausea is one, and the other one is Heartrend. So Heartrend will increase our critical hit damage against weak afflicted foes. So whenever our hangover damage ticks and gets that crit chance from Splitting Headache, because they're weak afflicted already, they'll take bonus crit damage. So Heartrend will do that. Curse of Nausea will just increase the rate that hangover actually ticks. So basically, if we're going for Dionysus or Ares, we're going for Curse of Nausea, and if we're going for Aphrodite or Artemis, we're going for Heartrend. So either one will offer, any Olympian that we get really will potentially offer us one of the duos that we need. But I think Curse of Nausea will do more at this point. We already have basically everything we need to clear the run. But we're going to try to improve our hangover specifically as much as possible. Okay, I really need to get rid of this Doomstone as fast as possible. There we go, and now we can kind of alternate our targets, apply 8 stacks of hangover, get a single volley of arrows, and yep, that just makes it insane.
In the name of Hades.
And we have, okay, that's alright. Peer Pressure and Drunken Dash are both going to be a bad choice because our special inflicts higher hangover damage than both of those, but Numbing Sensation isn't bad, so we'll take that. Centaur Heart is fine. I'm honestly amazed that we were able to get all this already without using a single Fated Authority. That's, usually I need to reroll at least 1 or 2 room rewards. for like a mini-boss, it'll offer something that we don't need, and then I'm forced to reroll it, but not this time. Okay, we can't afford anything in the shop, so we'll just take the Centaur Heart.
Lonely, wonderful to see you once again.
Cannot wait to get another Daedalus Hammer. If we can get Piercing Volley, that's going to make a huge difference, especially against the Bright Shields in Elysium. But even if we can't, that's fine. Ooh, okay. Let's not be too reckless here. Crazy. Yeah, that damage over time just gets insane. And we don't even have the full build yet.
Hydra heads were never meant to fly.
Okay, you know what? No, we don't need it. Okay, we can actually stick with the blood-filled vial if we want, and then the next Ares boon that we find will have a higher chance of giving us Curse of Nausea. Yeah, let's do that. We'll just stick with the blood-filled vial. It won't force Ares to appear, but when he does, we'll get that bonus rarity. I could potentially have switched to the heart, the Eternal Rose of the Adamant Arrowhead, but I'm more interested in getting Curse of Nausea right now. Yeah. Daedalus Hammer. That is what I would say is the higher priority. So I'll stick with the. I don't want to force one of the other two to appear just yet. And if they do, like, we'll take them. It's just if Ares shows up first, he's the higher priority. Now, unfortunately, there's not really much else that we need from Ares, so if we don't get Curse of Nausea, it's kind of a waste. Not really. I mean, Urge to Kill could be handy. But either way. And, okay, that's unfortunate. I was really hoping we would get Piercing Volley. Of these, either Point Blank Shot or Sniper Shot, just because it's the only thing that's not going to mess up our attack. And I think Point Blank Shot, maybe? Doesn't really matter. Hermes, again, Swift Flourish could be good, but I actually just want to increase our hangover damage as much as possible now. Oh, jeez. Okay, I cannot seem to aim. There we go. Alright. Okay, nothing really super useful here. I guess Numbing Sensation is good. Okay. See, now that would be good if we could be offered duos, but we can't. So but we can't really afford anything in the shop either. Oh, let's... Okay, let me try one reroll.
Whatever, let's try it.
Okay, I'll just take the shop. Okay, well, we'll take Ares and the mini-boss with the blood-filled vial and the just general increased rarity from the mini-boss. We may get Curse of Nausea here. Done.
In the name of Hades.
And Curse of Nausea. There we go. So our hangover effects deal damage faster, 3 times per second instead of twice per second. Ooh, okay, we actually don't need Patroclus. So let's go for Artemis. Let's see if we can get Heartrend now. That's the last thing we need. We genuinely don't need anything else. And if we don't get Heartrend, we could potentially get pressure points. If we don't get offered that, we could potentially take Artemis Aid. There's lots of Artemis boons that we could take that would be useful. Clean kill, maybe even. Lots of options.
Come get shot.
Okay, let's try to not get blown up by flame wheels. There we go. And no Heartrend. Okay, and honestly not much of anything else we need here. Hunter's Mark is okay, but it's going to be ticking so rapidly that it probably won't really do a whole lot. I mean, it can. It definitely can. It's just, it's not going to be consistent is all. It will increase our number of crits that we're getting. It's just, it won't be predictable as to what gets the crit, whether it's the hangover or the attack or the special. Hunter's Mark isn't bad. Still no. Okay, we'll take Heartbreak Strike.
No use.
Let me think for a sec here. What do we have? No shop yet. You know what? I'll take the Hydrolite, just restore a little bit of the health that we've lost. And let's go for another Palm. Let's see if we can get more points in Drunken Flourish. Oops. Let's maybe not stand in front of the trap. Come on. There we go. Oh, was there more? Who am I missing? Oh, no, I see. It was just one of the poppers. Okay. You know what, sure, well, yeah, sure, we'll put more points in Hunter's Mark, I guess. We can afford pretty much anything we need, so we don't need the Obel. Let's take Hermes instead. It might take us until Styx to get Heartrend, but that's okay. I'm almost certain we will. For the simple reason that we have 8 Fated Authorities. We can force the Eternal Rose. So we'll get the higher rarities on the boons there. I gotta pay more attention to what I'm doing here. Let's just take out these guys first. There we go. No, thank you. There we go. You guys... I'm gonna try to make sure you don't respawn. Good, okay. Swift Flourish, there we go. Good. It's not gonna be a massive difference, but it'll help. Okay, what do we have? Ooh. Heartrend. There we go. Critical effects deal more damage to weak foes. So our attack inflicts weak, our special inflicts hangover. Enemies that are hungover have a chance of taking critical damage, and when they do take critical damage, if they're weakened, which they are, they'll take bonus damage. So that, with low tolerance, splitting headache, and curse of nausea, makes this an absolutely disgusting hangover build. This is probably the best hangover build I have ever put together, and it is my most, like, this is my absolute favorite run in all of Hades, is this Chiron Hangover Bow run. Now we can just alternate between Asterius and Theseus. And just keep them hung over the entire time. There we go. Asterius is down already. Oh, whoops. That was my bad. Ooh, hello Demeter. You're not my favorite. I'm just going to call down Sisyphus now. Might as well. Whoa. There we go. That's one down. And... oh, I just got hit by the tail end of that thing. Ah, it doesn't matter. We're good.
Thanks for believing in me, my good shade.
Alright, I don't think we need to purge anything. No, we'll just keep it all. No, nothing we really need here. Okay, so we don't need anything, really. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the Sigil of the Dead, because having a call will help. Being able to become invisible and invincible for a brief period of time would help us get out of a sticky situation, like if you call Cerberus and we can't get out of the way. But here's the other thing, is that Sigil of the Dead, that call, when you are invisible or unseen, you gain a 100% stealth damage bonus. And that applies to everything, including our hangover damage. So that will actually help us quite a bit. We just apply 8 stacks and then trigger our call, and for that duration, we will get that full damage bonus.
Lucky find.
Alright, anything we need here? No, actually. We'll maybe just save up for Palms, and that's really all we're going to focus on. There's other things we could go for, like we could go for Sweet Surrender to increase the damage susceptibility of enemies that are weak afflicted. We could potentially go for pressure points and increase our crit chance even higher. We could go for Clean Kill, get even more crit damage. You know, there's a couple things we could potentially go for, but honestly, let's just clear the run. We've got more than enough. We could also potentially go for not Bad Influence. Is it Bad Influence? The one that increases your damage when 3 or more foes are hangover inflicted. I think that's Bad Influence. Or is that, I think I'm getting that wrong. I'll take the Hydra, might as well. I thought Bad Influence is the one that spreads. No, peer pressure is the one that makes hangover spread to nearby foes. Bad Influence is the one that, see, right there, takes a massive, massive chunk of hangover damage just while we're unseen like that.
Looks like I'm clear. Zesty. Got to find something.
Yeah, Bad Influence increases the damage when there's more foes inflicted with hangover. I would like to get at least one more palm into Drunken Flourish, just because. Now the nice thing about having a call like Hades' Aid or Athena's Aid or anything really that can give us some invincibility is that our hangover damage, every time that ticks, that will increase our god gauge. So when we get a bunch of foes inflicted with hangover, and they're rapidly taking hangover damage because of Curse of Nausea, our call will charge up insanely fast. Oh, nice. Early Satyr Sack too. Ah, dang. I was really hoping. Okay, fine. We'll take Numbing Sensation. The rest of those don't really matter. One last try. Nope. Okay. Hunter's Mark, I guess. I didn't even use up all of our Chthonic Companions. Well, that's okay.
Your heart-seeking call.
Alright, this should be a fairly easy Hades fight.
Darkness. Now. Darkness.
We're dealing 112 damage with every tick of our hangover, with that privileged status and all that. Not counting when it scores a crit. Ah! 192 now with that 100% damage bonus. I'm trying to see what the crit damage is when it ticks on the hangover. I know it can't. Oh, there we go. Holy, holy! Okay, we just got a whole bunch of crits in a row with our hangover there. Aww, that's lame. Ah. Let's just get this out of the way. Thank you. Butterfly balls are always annoying. There we go. Again, we really only need to trigger it once. And then we can switch our target. Oh, he's almost down. Ah. Okay, well, we got him. Those butterfly balls are always the worst.
Let's see you deal with this. Come on.
And we'll just let him take damage while we wait. There we go. Yeah, let's go for it. Oh, that's insane. Okay, well, we got him. Come Serb. I'm gonna save that call. We've almost got him down to his third phase. I'm just gonna save it for when that triggers. Ah, dang it. That's alright. I think that's the first hit we've taken that entire phase, so that wasn't too bad. We only had, I think, 3 health going into that phase. Oh, shoot. Okay, that was dumb. And now. Ah. Oh, shoot. Yeah, still triggered a few there. Okay. Hold on a sec. Here we go. There you go. Take him down, take him down, take him down. Oh, what? Okay. I'm surprised I took that hit, honestly. Ah! Okay, and he's done. Alright, a little bit of a closer call than I'd like, but, well, Hades at extreme measures is no slouch.
Fought well.
And in reality, I mean,
The name of someone very sore
yeah,
right now.
this is a crazy build. So, aspect of Chiron, you want Heartbreak, Strike, and Drunken Flourish. Hangover effects stack more times against weak foes. Your hangover afflicted foes are more likely to take critical damage. Your critical effects deal more damage to weak afflicted foes, and your hangover effects deal damage faster. That paired with privileged status and Hades Aid, you have yourself probably the best hangover build you can possibly get. I swear the aspect of Chiron was made for this build. It is... everything just clicks and synergizes so perfectly that this is arguably my favorite build. So yeah, that'll do it for our revised and improved aspect of Chiron hangover build. So with that, I'll see you next time.